Hey guys, it's your girl SeekretD with the strawberry letter response. So I think this was Monday's letter. I just realized that Monday was a holiday, so I was home, but in my head it was the weekend, and yesterday was Monday, but it was really Tuesday, so I am behind. So this is Monday's letter, I think. So the title of the letter, geez, you see what I'm saying? The title of the letter is My Best Friend is Just Trying to Help Out. So this lady writes in, she's 32, her husband's 40. They've been married for 8 years. They have a 2 and 5-year-old together, both girls. Her husband has 5 other children from before her. So her husband has 7 kids. She has 2. So she said that she's always told him that she's wanted 3 children, and she says she knows that's a lot of kids, but they are financially able to have another child, but her husband is like, no, he's not doing it. He don't want to have another kid, and therefore the answer is no, right? So she's saying that he doesn't have sex with her because he doesn't want her to get pregnant. When they do have sex, he buys her a plan B so she doesn't get pregnant. She said that she spoke to her male best friend who offered to donate his sperm. Now she's saying obviously that doesn't include sex, but we don't know that. Either way, according to her, her male best friend wants to donate his sperm, and this would not include sex with her. So she went and told her husband that her male best friend has offered to donate his sperm, and her husband got livid, right? So he said no, it'll be against their vows, and he's not claiming the baby as his own. I should also add that he told her she can't adopt a kid, so he just don't want any more kids. And this best friend situation is like, hell no. So now he's like, that's breaking vows. And basically told her if she bring it up again, he's going to file for divorce. So she's, trying to figure out what she's supposed to do, because she's saying she's 32 and it's her body. And if she wants to have more kids, she should be able to have more kids. So she's writing in because she's basically at a loss, because she doesn't know what to do at this point, being that her husband is so against having any more kids, and she really wants to have a 3rd kid to try for a son, which she doesn't have. She has 2 girls. She didn't mention the genders of her husband's kids. Obviously, she does not consider them her kids. They're his kids, so that wouldn't be important to this letter anyway. All right, so here's the thing. I understand 100% wanting to have more kids, right? It's just the thing. Like, some women, they have 1 kid, 2 kids, and they're like, hell no, I'm not having any more. And some women have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. They want to have more kids. So it's literally just a personal preference, right? And everybody knows that it's the woman's decision whether or not to have kids, usually, right? Because she's the one who has to carry it, she's the one who has to go through it, etc., 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 etc. So she has the final choice, right? But here we have a husband who's 40. He's still pretty young. So that whole, he's too old to have kids, that's just bullshit. He's the one that had no more kids. He got 7 kids. And that's understandable. And that's something that maybe she should have took into account when she started dating this man who already had 5 kids. Like, she should have thought, like, okay, maybe 3 more kids will be a lot for this man, right? So she's saying she's starting to resent him. Obviously, that makes sense as well. But here's the thing. Like, if y'all having sex and he's buying plan Bs, what, is he standing there and watching you take them? Because that's a little, I don't want to call it abusive, but that's a little bit much. And in that case, then it's kind of like, I don't know, I would feel some kind of way, because it's like, we're going to have sex because you obviously feel like having sex with me this time. Because regularly, you don't have sex with me regularly because you don't want me to get pregnant. But when you need to get laid, it's okay for you to have sex with me, but then you buy this Plan B pill and I have to take it. I don't really know how that have to take it works, because I don't know who's making her take this pill. I feel like just don't take it, right? So the thing with this is, I feel like she has basically given away her rights to her body, and the husband now is in charge, right? So I don't know what to tell her, because I feel like no matter what she does, she's gonna have an issue with her marriage. So if she takes up her best friend on his offer, her husband's gonna divorce her, right? If she has sex with her husband, has this baby, doesn't take the Plan B, her husband might still divorce her. You know what I mean? If he doesn't divorce her, he knows it's his kid, but he also would resent her, because now he's going to be like, oh, she trapped me. You know what I mean? Like, and who really wants to have a baby with someone who flat out is like, nah, I don't want to have another kid with you? Like, most people don't want to do that. I'm just saying, most people are not willing to trap people. I mean, men. I've heard men doing it, but either way, I don't have no words. I personally feel like the marriage is over. If she absolutely 100% wants to have a kid, and he absolutely 100% does not want to have another kid, to the point where she's over here telling her best friend she wants to have a kid, and he's over here offering sperm, and she opened her mouth to actually tell her husband that her best friend is like, oh, he's gonna give us sperm. Like, the fact that she actually brought that to her husband means that she's like desperate, because who would do that? Like, why would you even do that? I would never. Like, common sense would tell you not to be like, oh yeah, this other man said he'll get me pregnant. Like, come on, doesn't matter how it's gonna happen. But why would you tell your husband that, unless you're like at a state of just desperate, where you feel like you don't have any more options, which I can understand, but no. So I think the marriage is over, personally. I feel like it just needs to end. You just gotta go, and there's no fixing it. I don't think there's any way to fix your marriage, because it is broken, because you want kids and he doesn't. And again, I'm never gonna tell you to have a kid with someone who doesn't want to have a kid. But like you said, it's your body, and if you want to have a kid, you should be able to have a kid. But there's really no way to go around it. And I mean, I feel bad, because I feel like you want to have a kid, he don't, and it's either you have a kid or you don't. There's really only two options here, and it's like, if you don't have a kid, you're gonna be miserable. If you have the kid, he's gonna be miserable. And that's if all these things line up, because just because you have sex with him doesn't mean you're gonna get pregnant. Like, he's giving you Plan Bs every time you have sex, but you have to have sex during your ovulation window, and as close as possible to ovulation to even have a boy. You need to have sex either the day before, the day of, or the day after you ovulate to have a higher chance of having a boy. So you have to time it and all of that. So with all of that being said, the chances of you having a boy are probably slim, especially since he doesn't even want to have sex with you. So like, what are you going to do to even get him to have sex with you on the day you're ovulating, or the day before, the day after you ovulate? Like, So I don't know. I really feel like you might need to just leave. If it's that bad, you either need to be okay with not having another kid, or you need to leave. Because again, if everything lines up and you get pregnant again, it might not be a boy. That's one. And he will 100% resent you. And it feels like he's the type of person that will be like, well, you wanted the baby, so you're basically going to probably be like a single parent at that. You know what I mean? It's going to be like, oh, well, you the one wanted this baby, so now you got to deal with it. That's your husband. But I know a lot of single married people. Well, a lot of them divorced now, but they were single married people, single parents. All right, y'all, that's all I got to say for this. But yeah, I'm gonna try to do the next one soon. Bye.